Welcome to my channel. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. It is a Sunday night. Pete and I are about to make dinner, and I posted on my Instagram of this delicious Pinot Noir I was drinking and how I had paired it with a mushroom and pea risotto, and a lot of you wanted the recipe, so today I'm going to make the recipe with you in this video. So the recipe is based off Chrissy Teigen's mushroom and pea risotto from her book Cravings. I edited a little bit just based on what we have in the fridge, so let's get started. So for this recipe, we need everything from chicken stock, dried porcini mushrooms, we have shallot, we have fresh Parmesan, and then we also have the most important ingredient, which is this arborito rice that we use for risotto, and it's going to absorb all the liquid and make this creamy, delicious pasta dish. Rice dish. Pasta? Rice? I don't know, but it's gonna be delicious. So after the porcinis have been soaking for 1 to 4 hours, you're gonna wanna strain the liquid into another bowl. Because these dried porcinis definitely have dirt and other shit left over on them, so we don't want that. So once that's drained, you're gonna add your mushrooms into a cheesecloth, and then you're gonna wring them out into the bowl to make sure you get all of the liquid out of them. Can you do it on? Then we're going to chop these mushrooms and put them aside, and we're gonna add them to the dish at the end. Okay, so before we get started on actually cooking the rice, in the back here, I have 3 cups of chicken stock, and I'm going to add all of the 2 cups of mushroom stock that we created right to here. And then I'm going to let this come to like a simmer. I almost just want it like steaming, because the process of risotto is adding hot liquid into it so it doesn't bring the cooking temperature down. It keeps the cooking temperature at an even level, and it allows the rice to absorb the liquid at a better rate. So once that comes up to a perfect temperature, then we'll start cooking our rice. So in the pan, I have 2 tablespoons of butter and 1 small shallot, and I'm just gonna cook this for about 5 minutes until the shallots are translucent. And a shallot is really nice instead of an onion because it gives you more of this mild onion flavor, but it still gives a little something. I find it works really nicely with the mushrooms, that umami, and then you get this oniony flavor. It's really a nice balance. Next, we're gonna add the rice in, and it's just gonna get it a little toasty, gives it a little more flavor than just using it by itself. And we'll just push this around the pan for maybe like a minute or 2, and then the best part is that we're going to add in booze. So normally you use white wine with this, but I don't want to open a whole bottle of white wine tonight because I'm not going to drink it. So what I do have in my refrigerator is sake, and sake is great. It's also a dry wine. This one is made out of rice. Wine's made out of grapes. So I think that it still gives you that flavor that you're looking for. So I'm going to be adding in a half cup of sake and a little bit of salt, and then we're going to cook that down. And we're going to cook this until it reduces by about half. We want to cook out the alcohol, but we want to keep the flavor. And let me add a pinch of salt. A pinch of salt. And we cook, and we cook. While that's reducing really quick, let's talk about the wine. I love pairing Pinot Noir with these mushroom-based dishes. The Pinot Noir is light enough and fruity enough to handle the umami, and if you especially pick a wine from like the West Coast, they're going to be a little earthier and have this kind of mushroom undertone anyways. So I think this is the perfect pairing. Tonight we're doing J Vineyard's Russian River Valley Pinot Noir. This is 2017. Some Sonoma Valley Pinot Noirs are going to be a little fruitier and juicier than something you'd find from the Willamette Valley. But we're also pairing this with a chicken. It's like a chicken breast stuffed with an herb, goat cheese filling, wrapped in prosciutto. So I think the Pinot Noir is going to be something that can go through this whole entire meal and be a shining star. Okay, so all of the wine is cooked out of this. And now we're going to start adding our stock into our rice. So I'm going to start with a cup to get it going. Just kidding, 3/4 of a cup. And I'm going to stir this, and I'm just going to keep stirring this until the rice has fully absorbed all the liquid. And once most of the liquid is all absorbed, then I'm going to add a half a cup at a time to keep reconstituting the rice. So This process does take about 22 to 28 minutes depending on the rice and how much liquid you have. So you gotta be patient and you can't leave this one alone. You have to be here stirring and taking care of it. So I guess we'll do a hyper speed of me stirring risotto for 28 minutes because nobody wants to watch all that. So ready, here we go. Okay, here we are at 20 minutes of cooking. I have a little bit of broth left, but you can see it's really thickened up. The rice grains are so much bigger. And I like to have my risotto a little looser opposed to being super thick. THICC, but sorry about the sirens. But next we're going to add in a half a cup of peas. And you're just gonna cook them through until they're warm, so not too long. Oh, did you see that? I just threw so much risotto on the stove. Don't do that. This is an expensive dish. Don't do that. So we're just gonna cook the peas through for a minute or two, just so they warm up and get nice and delicious. And then we're going to add in a half a cup of freshly grated Parmesan. We're going to add in the dried porcinis that we had from the stock, and we're gonna add in 1 more tablespoon of butter just to kind of finish it all off. Shrooms. But just gotta gently fold all this in. After you've reached this stage, you can taste and salt and pepper. I use low sodium chicken broth when I'm making this just because the cheese is really salty, so you don't want to have it too salty of a dish. So after you add in all of your parm and your butter and all that good stuff, then give it a taste and salt and pepper accordingly. Let's taste this bitch. Are you still recording? I fucking delicious. Very good. So this is perfect. Oh, sorry. This is perfect with the salt. I'm gonna add more pepper when I serve it. So let's move to serving this. I'll show you how it's plated. So I'm eating this with chicken. So we're gonna do a nice big scoop of risotto. Maybe a little bit more, depending on how fatty we wanna be tonight. Then we're gonna come over here and we're gonna put some fresh cracked black pepper on it. And the best part is we're gonna grate more Parmesan on top because not only is it delicious, but it just kind of finishes it off. Okay, so we're going to enjoy our J Vineyards Pinot Noir Russian River Valley. Let me get a fork or spoon. Let's give it a try. This is a big bite. This is a Chelsea bite. It's fucking hot, but really good. It's salty and umami, and the peas bring a really nice freshness. The cheese is just like unctuous and delicious. Oh, and this goes perfectly. The tannins are light, the fruit is there. This has a little earthiness to it, and it's kind of complementing it. There's nothing hitting against each other, just kind of like cleansed my palate, made it taste a little more mushroomy. It was really good. So thanks for watching my hot mess of a cooking show. Hope you enjoy this mushroom pea risotto. Get yourself a bottle of Pinot Noir and enjoy. Cheers, guys.